Hello and welcome to part 2 of our Dominion 6 multiplayer game as MA Xibalba. So, in this turn, this is the start of winter, this is early winter, and we've got a little couple things going on. So, at this point, Machaka has been fighting around us. We'll actually have a quick look at their one here. We were planning to assassin expand in this area over here while looking towards the Stormy Deep, so let's have a little look at that. We can see here that we've got a bunch of spiders coming in. A little bit hard to deal with. They've still got their commander here. They just come in, they web them up, and just like that, they're gone. These guys aren't blessed, but they do have an enlarge. So we should be able to see their bless at some point, but as of just now, these guys don't seem to be blessed. We'll just double check at the start of the battle. I don't think they have a commander that blesses them with them. No, they've just got what looks to be a hunter that's coming in. So yep, they just come in, they kill them off. Little bit annoying for us because we were planning on coming into this. This isn't the best area, but it is a swamp, so swamps usually have good gems. So instead, we're going to continue going in to the Stormy Deep, potentially take this over. Now, this is a bit of an inland sea, and we can also start to see that we have what looks to be Ulm up here. So Ulm is kind of in this area here, and this is going to be one of the saddest parts of the game, to be quite honest. Ulm is up in this peninsula, and he's effectively trapped at the moment. It was a newer player who was playing him. He didn't really have any options. It's sad. We'll kind of see what happens with it later on in the game, but this is always one of the things that can happen in the map generator. I know some people were saying that we had a pretty bad start. Believe me, there's people with worse starts. Per guy. We also had a battle over here in the Woodland. This is us attacking this Wasteland province. We can see here that we've only got a couple of people there. We've got personal bark skin, personal regeneration, strength of giants, protection from poison. On our god, she is just going to charge on in, and she's going to absolutely wipe the floor with these guys. It's not even going to be close, unfortunately, for them. So, yep, just even ignoring these archers here, just going straight for the commanders. Here she comes, just kill, kill, two at once. Kill this last guy, he retreats, everybody's retreated, boom, just like that, she's done. If we have a little look also as well, we had a very large battle in Villia, where we had some Zots. We had a couple of ragtag forces here. They had their commanders. We were really hoping that we would get a retreat from them, from their commanders. Our Zots come in, they get a decent enough surround, but their heavy infantry were too close, so we lost a lot of Zots. We do end up killing their commander, which is good, and unfortunately our Womoke, he ends up retreating as well. So we can see here, very bad start for us. We lost our dart throwers, we lost our Mook warriors, our only Womoke, and we lost a lot of Zots. But we did kill all three of their commanders, which is nice. So, because of that, and because of the fact that we still have our prophet here, our prophet's going to move into Villia. He's going to take this over. We don't have to worry about that. We could potentially have been a little bit not so great if the Machaka came for us, but Machaka at this point is a little bit... But Machaka at this point is a little bit concerned with other things going on our borders. While we don't have vision on it, there is a large coalition that seems to be coming together against Asphodel. So far, the known players are Atlantis, Vanheim, and Man, who we don't see just now, but it's kind of over in this area over here on the map. And that seems to be what's kind of happening just now. Atlantis seems to be corralling these guys into Asphodel. I think Asphodel and Man had a bit of a bump, and that has escalated into full-out war. Man seems to be losing that pretty badly, so those two forces are also coming in. At that point, the diplomatic feelers, as far as I am aware from this time, from talking with the various players during the game and kind of after they were eliminated, this is around about the time that both Machaka and Nidavangur were also being called to fight against Asphodel. So we had a very large coalition of people potentially coming up against Asphodel. In the meantime, we are not strong enough, nor do we have any connection to Asphodel that we would ever want to join. We were getting the occasional diplomatic ping to say, hey, what do you think about Asphodel? At this point, we're just staying completely neutral. We see no reason to even get involved to send any kind of gold or anything like that. We need to concentrate on our expansion. And our expansion isn't going so great. This is turn 9, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 provinces. Not great by any stretch of the imagination. Now, we're hoping to get this up to 12 this next turn. We're going to have our god come in to this province over here, which only has Lion Tribe. We don't really have to worry about anything. She's got the personal stone skin, the personal regeneration, strength of giants, protection, and poison. That protection from poison should help her against any of their nature mages they might have. The trees won't be able to kill her. She has a high enough personal protection, or natural protection, sorry, thanks to personal stone skin and the hard skin bless. You add that on top of a personal regeneration. Strength of Giants is just to make her do even more damage. She already does decent damage with her inbuilt 4 attacks. She has a sling as well that she's picked up along the way. I think we got it from that last battle. Let's double check. Yep, so we found a sling of accuracy from this last battle. So she has a ranged attack should she want to do it. There's not very much point. We're just going to keep it on her just now because, you know, it's nice to have. As far as our recruitment goes, so we're currently recruiting a Bacab, a couple of Womulkas. We want this Bacab because the Bacabs are very good because they can gift of water breathing. So any of our independent forces that we decide to make, we can then start to lead them underwater and they can help us out. Over here, we're recruiting a bunch more Zots, and we're also recruiting our first way here, Nature 2, Blood 1, with a random chance for Fire, Death, Nature, or Blood. These guys are going to be really good in 1, they can do not that great research, but they do break us into blood. We can start using them for things like blood hunting, which they are effectively blood 2 for, and if you get the lucky percentage chance, they become effectively blood 3. So they're almost guaranteed to find slaves every single time, as long as nothing else goes wrong. Other than that, we had, as we said, the Battle in Scaly Swamps. We had the research and alteration has been done to level 2, which is good. So that's why we now have the personal stone skin rather than the personal bark skin. Looking at our research going on, so we're now going to work on construction up to level 3. Construction level 3 unlocks for us both familiars for research in familiars. It also unlocks a couple other useful construction items, most of all rings of water breathing. This will let our god start to go into the sea where we can start contest that, and that should be our plan from going forward, because out of all the nations in the game, there's only 2 of them that can really rival us under the sea, and that is Atlantis and Asphodel. Foreshadowing. Okay, so we come to our next turn here. Turn 10, and a messenger has arrived from man. The unprovoked hordes of Asphodel attack the peaceful nation of man. We shall brook no quarter. To arms, good people of the world. This is their call to arms for the coalition against Asphodel, which we will now be seeing. Although we won't really be seeing, we don't have scouts over there at the moment. I was more concerned about expanding out our borders. We had a couple of assassination attempts, so we managed to assassinate an Ictiot Lord and another Ictiot Lord, which is very good. This is down here in the Hungry Sea, where we're trying to kill this out so that we can then expand underneath the ground, just because we don't have very many of our froggy forces about at the moment. We seem to have lost them trying to expand overground. Again, as I've said, not very good at expanding middle-aged Xibalba. They do require a little bit of finesse, which I seem to not have. Bit of a shame, but nothing to worry about. We're going to try and assassinate. We're hoping there's only 3 guys here, so we're going to try and assassinate and then attack with our other assassin and hopefully take over this province. Whereas we have in Villia, so in Villia we knew that we had taken out all of their commanders, so the enemy forces just retreat and off they go. Good stuff. Over here, we're going to start building up our first palisade, and you can start to see here what I was talking about with Ulm, and what a bad situation they are in. Ulm is currently sitting here. They've expanded, as far as we can tell, pretty well around here. They start right next to us with a throne on their cap circle. Their cap circle is similar to ours, but they can't move through water half as easily as we can. Poor guys, really not that great for them. What we're doing over here is we're just trying to assassinate these guys here, so we're going to try and assassinate the Shamblers leaders, take that over, move up to the Trackless Waste, assassinate that, take that over, and that'll link us up to the Hungry Sea. We then have pretty good idea of our ability to hold this area. We can always put a castle over here in Stormy Deep. Good vision around all of here. We can see Machaka over here, Machaka, an even worse cap circle than we have. Poor guys, they've only got 3 land connections, 1 sea connection. The sea connection is completely useless to them, and one of those things is a throne. So overall, our area doesn't look as bad as everybody else's that we found so far. We had our battle over here, a Norathian, which we can see that we took, which we weren't ever in contention for. We've got our personal stone skin, personal regeneration, got our protection, poison, strength of giants. I'm having a little look at our big mummy. We can see that she has a ridiculous protection. At the moment, she's got total protection of 22, 15 on her head, 22 on her body. She's size 10, so the chances of her getting hit in the head in melee, very, very low, especially when fighting humans. She's got her big fear aura. She's got 10% regeneration. She's got 146 hit points at the moment. You're going to be very hard pressed to take her down with any kind of normal troops. You'll need multiple thugs in order to do that and hope they don't run away. I mean, even just talking about people with like great swords of sharpness, they're going to struggle as well. She comes in, half of them start to retreat. She just tanks up the damage. Any damage she's taking, she's then also regenerating. And this is basically our reason that we took this pretender, is because of how strong she is. She just hangs on through any damage, any chip damage she takes, she's absolutely fine with. She has the affliction resistance from being high in Earth Pass, and the enemy army has just routed. There we go. Good job, girl. It's what we'd like to see. We unfortunately didn't pick up any other magical items, bit of a shame, but nothing we can do about that. And overall, a pretty quick and easy turn for us, all things considered. Over here, we're still building up our Bacab. We're getting a couple more Womuks. These Womuks are going to be very, very important for us in our fight against Atlantis. Atlantis appears to be using mostly Lobster Riders at the moment for their big trampling power. Now, our Womuks will be trampled as well. Even though they're enlarged, they're only size 5, not the size 6 the Lobster Riders are. But with their stats, they have a pretty good chance to hit. Attack 12, it's decent, it's not the worst. And they do 26 damage, magical slashing damage. Ooh. They can hit pretty hard. Other than that, we've got a little bit of a research core on the go. We've got our way that's going to be built up over here. And we're also building up a palisade over here in Villia. Now, this is going to bring us into conflict with Ulm. There's nothing really that we can do about that, unfortunately. Just with Ulm's position, we're going to be in conflict with them, and we're going to see what we can do about that in terms of diplomacy. Our god down here is going to move down to the bulwark. It is outside of our dominion, but given that these are deer tribe, I think she should be okay with the protection stat that she has, as well as her personal regeneration. You can say that the deer tribe warriors, if they get really lucky with all of their stabs, given how many of them they are, they can be a little bit scary for single entities to deal with, but she has the fear. She's got a good amount of protection. She's got multiple attacks and the personal regeneration. I think this is a risk worth taking in order to make sure that we continue to expand on outwards, especially as we start to approach the end of the first year. But having a little look at our research, we're still working towards construction level 2. Our research is pretty slow despite our scales. We only have magic 1, so it's not the best help that we can get, but we need these scales in order to go forward. One thing I will say, Death 1 has not affected us at all in this game going forward, either as a blood nation in terms of our economy. Our economy is obviously a little bit worse than other nations, some of them, but Death 1, I would say if you need the points of pretender creation, take that before you start taking temperature scales. Been a massive help in this game in order to get the paths that we needed for our god and for our bless. So something to keep in mind, unless you're really wanting more people for whatever reason. If you're going very hard into blood searching, we didn't go too hard into blood searching this game, it must be said, despite the fact that we have a good way of doing it, just because of the way the game turned out and of my own tactical deficits. But never mind, we'll continue on with the next turn. Pretty quick one here. Just going to give you a little bit better of an overlay of the diplomatic map mode as Man, Asphodel, Vanheim, and Atlantis begin to clash in the darkness that we see over here. Okay, so now we're in late winter and a messenger has arrived from Machaka. We support the noble nation of Man. Death to the horse thieves. Isn't being half a horse not enough for them? Well said, after all. So, we have Welcome to the Splash Zone. Consort has claimed the Throne of Water in the name of Dave 2.0, the Most High, copycat of the god dispenser of fate. So, this is Atlantis claiming this throne underwater. Little bit of a shame. We have managed to assassinate Sue, the Shambler Chief. Killed them, very good. And these assassins didn't find anybody else. There was a battle in the Hungry Sea where Atlantis came in. We'd knocked out all of their commanders. They came in. Our assassin comes in, dies. Either assassin didn't get assassinated because there was no enemy commanders in the province when he was looking for them. That's a little bit of a shame. So we kind of failed our assassin expansion in that one. There was a battle in the Bulwark where our Tito Anan comes in and just completely mops the floor with all these deer tribe. We'll just play this one so you can just see how powerful she is. She's just going to come on in. This is without any of her blesses. So she doesn't have the hard skin bless that we paid for because she's outside of our dominion currently. So she comes on in. She's going to take a little bit more damage here. You can see that our protection isn't as high as it once was before. But she's getting some decent regeneration off. She should be absolutely fine. And just comes on in and just wipes the floor with these guys, fears them on out. They start to run as the squad starts to take more and more damage. There we go. Off you go, guys. We got some trees we got to fight, but between the personal regeneration and her basic damage that she gets from her giant strength, she's absolutely okay. and the independent armies are routed. So good job, big milky mummy snakes. And to rub a little bit of salt on the wounds, there was a battle in Stormy Deep, but how does Ulm attack under the water? Well, he had a whole bunch of mermen. He had a merman village that we didn't know about, so after we had so kindly just eliminated all of these Shambler commanders for him, he just comes in and takes the province. Okay, I chalked that one up to, you know, bad assassin expansion for me. I thought I could take it. I wasn't expecting Ulm or Machaca to be able to take it. I didn't think they'd have merman things. Obviously they do. So, you know what? You live and you learn. Unexpected event happened at the Bulwark. We got a bit of misfortune, but also some magic. Not too bad. And in the Forest Idun, disease is spreading. Now, this is the first inkling that something is wrong within the Forest of Idun. I left this way here to research. The Forest of Idun has a death site in it, which is causing disease. Not something we want. But never mind, we'll have a little look at what we're doing after this. We're moving over here from the Hungry Sea to Trackless Water. At this point, we've had a bit of a strategic faux pas in that we have not taken any of the water provinces. Now, admittedly, Atlantis has a pretty good position to just take all of these. We can see Atlantis is actually up here, and he's connected the sea both up here, along here. There is a small cove over here that we haven't scouted out yet. So Atlantis is just be able to come in with all of his troops and take them over. Over here in the Hungry Sea, we can see that he has an army of mainly lobster riders. Now, these guys are pretty scary. He's got 18 lobster riders. These guys are size 6. The giant lobsters themselves have 20 protection, 34 hit points. They don't attack or defend very good, but they are pretty strong, and more importantly, they are tramplers. Pretty scary for us, but fortunately, the giant lobster is aquatic. So, something to keep in mind. Mostly something we're going to have to worry about underneath the sea, but at least our land provinces for the moment are mostly safe, but we have to keep a little eye on Atlantis going forward. Now at this point, if I double check my notes, so at this point Nidavangur is currently unaligned in these powers, but they are currently in talks with Atlantis about what they can get from Asphodel. Because of this, in the next couple of turns, they're going to come towards us with a non-aggression pact after we expand out a little bit further into the south, which we do actually accept, because I was in the opinion that, well, I need to be at peace with at least one of my neighbours in order to go in with them. And in this game, it was an unhinged app, so if you had a non-aggression pact with somebody, that was it. There was no way to break it except in the game. Going forward, we're not sure if we're going to do that. We're just going to have to see. Over here, as I said, so I didn't want to go to war with Ulm. Ulm was a new player. So instead, we're going to move our guys over to Canal, potentially do some assassin expansion in Canal instead. Over here, we're currently building a palisade. We built a scout over here. We're building a temple. We're searching over here with another one of our guys. So we're going to get a temple and a laboratory over here, and it's going to be start recruiting the next couple of our mages. Other than that, we also have our Pacab up. She's just going to start researching for just now. And we're going to get ourselves an AHA, a couple of Womokes, so we can try and get our research going a little bit faster. Construction level 2 coming next turn. And then working on construction level 3. After that, I was thinking about getting enchantment level 5. Enchantment level 5 will let us do things such as casting Order Skeletons, that kind of thing with our Death 2s, which we can get from our Camazots. And we want to get higher in Alteration as well if we can help it. So yeah, that's the majority of this turn. So we'll move on to the next one. Okay, and with this, we are in... Okay, and with this we are now in early spring, so this is the first year is done for our multiplayer game. At this point we receive a couple of messengers. So messengers arrive from Man. Man stands tall at his most desperate hour against the needless aggressors of the Carrion Woods. May the nations of the world know this, none are safe while these warmongers perpetuate their travesties. Our bodies may shatter, but our forests will forever stand the test of time. Praise Manlin. We also have a herald or a messenger arrive from Nidavangur. The big bad plants killed the doggy and wanted to make the dog owner to not revenge their dog. So it's time to whack those weeds and be a real gardener. So yeah, it started to come out that Asphodel had actually accidentally killed the god of Vanheim and then not be angry about it. You know, these things happen. It can happen in the game. If you lose your pretender, it's obviously a bit not that great. So you got to keep that in mind. And we also had a herald from Atlantis. Let it be known that they want a non-aggression pact between our nations. At this point, Atlantis has been chatting to us a little bit about staying out of the Asphodel conflict. Now, at this point, just due to the fact that non-aggression pacts are done purely within the game, I declined. So I actually declined this for 2 reasons. One, I didn't want to be bound by the in-game diplomacy, not against Atlantis, who I see as my best way of expanding in the underwater. And at this point, I wanted to remain neutral in this conflict. Why? I thought Asphodel had the chance to actually come out on top of this, and I wanted to try and profit from them as much as I could, at least in terms of being able to take over my other neighbours before they got too strong. We managed to find a magical site in Villa, a dolmen, which is okay. That's an extra earth gem per turn. Very, very nice. What else did we find? So there was a battle in Kunal. So where we moved all of our assassins, there is now a battle. So let's have a little look at the Ulmish army. So, pretty basic army from Ulm. They're coming in. They've got their infantrymen here. They come on in. They smack it around. A lot of guardians here. Just taking us out. Or taking out the independents, sorry. They come on in. They smack them a little bit. And boom, they win the day. Good stuff. They even have a Lord Guardian. Very good. He's managed to take that out. Not that great for us. Kunal is actually a pretty good territory, and now Ulm shares a border with us where we control a choke point. There was also a battle in the Oak Halls, so this is attacking his independence again attacking outside of our dominion with our god. Just some more tribe warriors. She should be able to clear this out. Absolutely no problem at all. Here she comes. Coming on in, just goes right past them, goes for the archers, just goes for a tree, apparently, and then just starts killing off all of their troops. The Fiora starts to kick in. She's very, very immune to poison damage, so she isn't taking any damage from poison, pretty much, and she's able to just regen through any of the damage they do to her, and she's absolutely fine. Good job, God. So yeah, see there, pretty good amount of kills. It'll do a lot of work. Good job. Unexpected event happened in the bulwark. We lost a little bit of Dominion. Hostile Preacher. And then we also found 8 death gems inside the woodland. Here we go. Fortune really starting to help us out here. Now, at this point, we see Atlantis has also expanded to Hippocampus Fortune. We've moved our god over to the King's Tomb Desert. We have our main force over here in Villa. We are 3 months away from building our palisade. And at this point, I was very scared of these guys here trying to attack our province here. So, what do we do about that? We grabbed our Bakab. We gave her a whole bunch of Sacreds, we gave her a whole bunch of Zots, we gave her some Womucks on Guard Commander. And we told her we wanted to do Personal Stone Skin, Skeletal Body, Quicken Self, Breath of Winter. A little bit of a strange kind of script, but is the best that we had at the time. The whole idea of this was she was going to come up with these forces to reinforce this province here. We did a massive PD dump. We got 30 defense value inside this province in order to take it out. Any kind of attack that could have come. And, would you know it, an attack came next turn. Unfortunately, I didn't appear to save that turn, so I'll tell you exactly what happened. As far as our expansion goes, we moved into the King's Tomb Desert, and it is kind of annoying because this is quite a pivotal turn. This is where we then find Nidavangur. Nidavangur then wants a non-aggression pact with us. We accept the non-aggression pact. Ulm and ourselves, we clash in Villia. We soundly beat his army because we have the province defense, we have superior numbers, we completely beat him. At this point, I am wanting to go against Atlantis more than I want to go against Ulm. A couple of reasons. Ulm's a newer player. At the time, I thought it would be unfair to just come in and try and kill him so early into the game. Looking back in it, it probably was actually the kindest thing I could have done because his start is awful. It is horrifically bad. He is trapped on an island. I now hold the only part here that he can come out on, except for this bit here. Now, we had a little bit of chat backwards and forwards, had a little chat on Discord to see what we could do about it. I managed to convince him that I was not the threat, that instead Atlantis was the threat, and he would potentially help in any kind of Atlantis war that I went in the future. Obviously, he's Ulm, he's not going to be very helpful, he doesn't have anything to actually do it, but he can keep other people off my back. He was going to, come next winter, when the temperature got low enough, go from Duvan to the Trackless Waste and attack Machaka. Now, I didn't want to give him Villia. Why? 31,000 population. Look at that income, look at those resources. We're already building a palisade here. We've put a lot of our money into this province. I don't want to just give that up. As cruel as that is, that's honestly the truth. Otherwise, yes, so we moved on here. We took this desert province here, which is very, very nice. We found a sage area where we can make sages, and we got our non-aggression pact with Nidavangur. From there, what's our kind of plan? Well, we're still doing our research. We're getting up to construction level 3. Currently, we're still building a Haas to make sure our research is coming up, and we're still building up a way, and then we're going to get a Patab after that to take out all of these Zots so we can use them elsewhere. going from here, we're going to think about going for Atlantis. Could have gone for could go for Machaca, but the issue that we have is that we are currently against a coalition. Now, this coalition consists of Machaca, it consists of Nidavellir, Man, Vanheim, and Atlantis. We attacked, say, Machaca, well then everybody else is just going to attack us back. So we're going to get attacked by Nidavellir, we're going to get attacked by Man and Vanheim if we come to it, and we're also going to get attacked by Atlantis. That's not going to go well for us. We're just going to instantly lose. My positing was, diplomatically, if I attack Atlantis, none of the other land nations are going to care that much. Nobody really likes underwater nations and dominions anyway. So who are they going to care? Is like, oh, well, we've lost Atlantis out of this coalition. We've still got all these land warriors. We'll see what happens there. I was also at this point in contact with Asphodel, who is doing okay, but not great against this amount of forces. There's a little bit of diplomatic shenanigans that start to happen about now. We'll go on those in future videos. So just wanted to give you a little quick update about what's happening with this. So we'll continue on here. There is a couple of turns along the way that I think were lost, unfortunately, as a bit of a shame on my part. I think it's maybe about 4 or 5 turns across the whole game. Still not great. I'm going to try and improve my ability to keep these turns going on in the future. But hopefully you've been enjoying the multiplayer game so far. I mean, it's been pretty blast. I think this was my... No, I had one multiplayer game that went very badly for Dominion 6 before. This is my first one that I think went okay. Spoilers, we made it to the last 3. Wasn't my best, wasn't my worst. Personal reasons for that. They'll come out soon enough, I'm sure. But just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's watching. Let me know down in the comments what you want to see more of. How you would actually like to see these multiplayer kind of things go a little bit more. I'm trying to play it as I would with one of my single player games. Just kind of going through what we're doing on the turn, you know, what our actions are, what we're trying to recruit, etc. But if you'd like to see these a bit more condensed, if you'd like to see them done a little bit differently, let me know down in the comments and we'll try and do that for the next one. But just want to say thank you very much for watching. If you like what we do here, you can become one of the Burger Band by supporting the channel on either YouTube memberships, Patreon, Coffee, whatever you like. You get a little bit of benefits for that. You get access to videos as soon as they're uploaded, some emojis, etc. And you get to join in on any of the polls or questions that we do for our higher member community people. But the most important thing you can do is watching, so I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I do greatly appreciate it. And until next time, take care.